Porch lights flickering, rhythmic and cold, like a secret we're keeping that's already old. I asked if you're happy, I asked if you're here, but your eyes are like windows when no one is near. You reach for your jacket and headed for the door, leaving a shadow on the kitchen floor. I reached for your hand, but you pulled it away, saving the words for a different day. 4 little letters, a short, sharp blade, cutting the ties that we carefully made. It wasn't a no and it wasn't a stay, it was the sound of you walking away. 'Cause fine was the wall that you built in the dark, fine was the water that smothered the spark. It wasn't a scream or a house shaking fire, just a slow motion dimming of every light. I was looking for truth, I was looking for a sign, but I lost you forever in the last time you said fine. Now the silence is heavy, it's weighing a ton. I'm counting the damage of what we've undone. If you told me you hated the way that I breathe, at least I'd have something to hold while you leave. But you gave me a ceiling when I needed a sky, a polite little version of a long drawn goodbye. Fine is the ghost of the I love you we knew, the coldest confession that you were through. Break something, burn something, tell me a lie, just don't let the fire go out with a sigh. I'd rather you break my heart into glass than watch every feeling just quietly pass. But you checked the time and you checked out of us, leaving our history to turn into dust. I hit shuffle just to hear it go. The songs you loved are the ones that hurt the most. That indie track from the night we met is a jagged pill I haven't swallowed yet. The EQ bars are jumping on the screen, but they don't show the wreckage in between. I'm staring at the titles in a row, digital map of where we can't go. I used to know the bridge before it came. can't even whisper your name without the rhythm falling out of time, without the memory tasting like a crime. And now I'm just dancing in the ashes of our playlist to the melodies of a love that didn't last. Every lyric is a match that I've been striking, burning down the echoes of our past. It's a lonesome sound, a bitter hollow beat of a heart that skipped 1,000 retreats. Yeah, I'm shivering in the cold gray mist, sifting through the ashes of our playlist. There's that anthem from the summer on the coast, when we swore we'd be the ones who kept the ghost. Now it's just a frequency of pain, like the sound of tires spinning in the rain. I try to skip, I try to delete the files, but I can't erase those 1,000 highway miles where we sang until our lungs were feeling thin, before the static started settling in. Put the headphones on and turn the volume high to drown out the sound of my own goodbye. But the bass is heavy and the treble's gone wrong. I'm just a footnote in our favorite song, still dancing in the ashes of our playlist to the melodies of a love that didn't last. Every lyric is a match that I've been striking, burning down the echoes of our past. It's a lonesome sound, a bitter hollow beat of a heart that skipped 1,000 retreats. Yeah, I'm shivering in the cold gray mist, sifting through the ashes of our playlist. Still dancing in the ashes of our playlist to the melodies of a love that didn't last. Every lyric is a match that I've been striking, burning down the echo of our past. It's a lonesome sound, a bitter hollow beat of a heart that skipped 1,000 retreats. Yeah, shiver in the cold gray mist, sifting through the ashes of our playlist. We were leaning on the hood of your rusted out car, mapping out a future like we knew where we are. The sky was the purple, it feels like a bruise, with nothing to gain and nothing to lose. You had a map folded up in the glove box tray, and a list of the places we'd see on the way. But the engine went quiet, the stars lost their glow, and we traded the always for I've gotta go. We had the ink ready, the pages were wide. We were just one chapter from being alright, but we closed the book right at the best part and let the cold wind settle into our heart. Oh, it wasn't a crash and it wasn't a fire, it wasn't the weight of a world-ending liar. It was just a Tuesday, a look in your eye. We let the forever go drifting on by. We gave up the summit to stay in the heather, the day that we skipped being happy together. Yeah, my heart's been a ghost since the weather turned cold on the day we skipped forever. I still see the ring-shaped tan on your hand, like a line in the water, a mark in the sand. We talked about houses with porches and swings. Now I'm just haunted by those invisible things. I passed by that diner where we drew on the glass, watching the ghosts of our younger selves pass. We walked out the door and we didn't look back. Now the life that we promised is fading to black. Sometimes I wonder if we'd stayed in the rain, if the love would have eventually outrun the pain. But we took the exit, we chose the easy way out, and now I'm just drowning in a sea of what about. It wasn't the weight of a world-ending liar. It was just a Tuesday, a look in your eye, when we let the forever go drifting on by. We gave up the summit to stay in the heather, the day that we skipped being happy together. Yeah, my heart's been a ghost since the weather turned cold on the day we skipped forever. And left forever hanging in the I was scrolling through the numbers in the middle of the night, looking for a voice to make the shadows feel alright. And I stumbled on the letters that I haven't touched in years. A digital ghost is fueling all my fears. Your name is still there, but the home icon's gone. Just a string of 10 digits I've been leaning upon. I remember the rhythm of how you used to ring. Now the silence is the only song I sing. I wonder if I'm still a contact in your palm, a memory tucked away, steady and calm. Or did you hit delete and throw me to the wind? While I'm still haunted by the where have you been. It's the fading names in my phone that hurt the worst, like a thirst for a well that's already cursed. A graveyard of texts saying I'm on my way, from a person who decided they couldn't stay. I'm staring at the screen till my vision goes blurred, waiting for a buzz, for a single final word. But it's just blue light and a heart made of stone, lost in the faded names in my phone. I almost hit call just to see if it's true, to see if a stranger picks up instead of you. Does someone else have the number I used to dial when I needed a reason to pull out a smile? I see our old threads, the good nights and the hey, the I love you mores that have all turned to gray. The timestamps are fossils of a life we once lived. Before all the typing, icons went dead. It's a modern kind of lonely, it's a high-tech grief to have you in my pocket but out of reach. I could block you, I could hide you, I could clear the cache, but I'm not ready to turn our history to ash. Yeah, it's the faded names in my phone that hurt the worst, like a thirst for a well that's already cursed. A graveyard of texts saying I'm on my way, from a person who decided they couldn't stay. I'm staring at the screen till my vision goes blurred, waiting for a buzz, for a single final word. But it's just blue light and a heart made of stone, lost in the faded names in my phone. I'm putting it down, I'm locking the screen, but the ghost of your name is still in between every call that I take, every message I send. You're the only contact I can't bring myself to end. It's the faded names in my phone that hurt the worst, like a thirst for a well that's already cursed. A graveyard of texts saying I'm on my way, from a person who decided they couldn't stay. Staring at the screen till my vision goes blurred, waiting for a buzz, for a single final word. But it's just blue light and a heart made of stone, lost in the faded names in my phone. I wrote this in the kitchen while the coffee started cooling, to the rhythm of the rain back when I was busy schooling. My heart on how to tell you all the things I couldn't say. I was saving every line for a perfect sunny day, but the clouds stayed in the rafters and the words stayed in my throat, and I never had the courage to send this little note. Now I'm humming to the curtains in a house that's far too still, with a melody that's climbing up a lonely, jagged hill. The chorus was a promise, the bridge was like a plea, the verses were the map of who I thought we'd grow to be. But you packed your bags and left before I hit the final chord. Now I'm shouting at the ceiling, just a beggar to a Lord. Yeah, it's a song you never heard, breaking me into the one where I finally admitted I was nothing without you. It's a symphony of secrets, it's a masterpiece of pain, for an empty seat through the thunder and the rain. I'm a singer with no audience, a ghost upon a stage, crying out the ink that's drying on a folded yellow page. Oh, the saddest part of us isn't that you're gone, it's the song you never heard that still cares. I kept it in my pocket like a lucky silver dime, waiting for the moment, just waiting for the time when the static would be quiet and the world would let us breathe. But I didn't see the shadow of the way you'd have to leave. Now play it for the shadows and the cracks along the wall, a beautiful confession that came too late to call. It's got your favorite tempo, it's got that minor key refrain, but the air is the only thing that's listening to my pain. If I sang it at the station, if I screamed it in the street, would the rhythm of your heart have stayed in time with my own beat? Now it's just a vibration in the hollow of my chest, a restless little spirit that can never find its rest. the part where I said I'll stay, but you're 1,000 miles into a brand new day. Just a melody with nowhere to go. The most beautiful thing that you'll never know. I'm standing in the hallway where the light begins to fade, counting all the plans for us that we so carefully made. I see the corner of the sofa where we leaned in close that night, before the world grew heavy and we lost the will to fight. There's a bottle on the counter that we saved for someday soon, but someday turned to shadows underneath the waning moon. I'm looking at your picture and the way you used to smile, knowing that I haven't felt that light in quite a while. My lips are heavy with the things I'm meant to do, every soft I love you that I was saving just for you. Now there goes notes in a melody that's gone completely wrong, just the echoes of a rhythm where we used to both belong. And oh, it's the kisses we never used that hurt the most today, the ones I kept in ivory boxes before you walked away. They're a weight inside my chest, the fire turning cold, the sweetest parts of us that never got the chance to be told. I'm drowning in the almost, I'm shivering in the night, left with 1,000 gentle touches that'll never see the light. The goodbye was a third, but the silence is the bruise, thinking about the lifetime, but the kisses we never used. I remember how I'd wait until you fell asleep at night, to whisper all the dreams I had when the timing felt just right. I was holding every heartbeat, I was rationing every touch, thinking we had forever. I didn't think it was much. Now the air between my fingers feels like ice against the skin, and I don't know where the memory ends and where the stings begin. There's a ghost of you in the kitchen, there's a ghost of you on the stairs, but there's no one left to answer all my quiet, desperate prayers. We were a book with half the pages stuck together at the seam, a beautiful, unfinished, and broken-hearted dream. I'd trade every sorry and every bitter word I spoke just to taste a promise before the thread of us finally broke. Yeah, it's the kisses we never used that hurt the most today, the ones I kept in ivory boxes before you walked away. They're a weight inside my chest, the fire turning cold, the sweetest parts of us that never got the chance to be told. I'm drowning in the almost, I'm shivering in the night, left with 1,000 gentle touches that'll never see the light. The goodbye was a third, but the silence is the bruise, thinking about the lifetime of the kisses we never used. begin to pass, I still have them all, wrapped in lace and bitter blue, 1,000 ways. I never got to love you. The kisses we never used, floorboards are cold and the hallway is long. I'm humming the parts where you sang in our song. I poured 2 coffees, then caught my mistake. 1 cup is steaming, the other's an ache. I'm checking the clock just to watch the gears grind, trying to leave all your shadows behind. But the bed is too wide and the house is too still, and I'm losing the race against my own will. I'm a bird with 1 wing in a heavy rain sky, learning the hard way that us was a lie. I'm reaching for something that's already gone, trying to find where the rhythm went wrong. Now I'm living on half of a heartbeat tonight, trying to breathe in the absence of light. The drums have gone quiet, the tempo has slowed. I'm a lonely traveler on a one-way road. You took the harmony, you took the spark, and left me to stumble alone in the dark. It's a hollow chest, hollow, a jagged edge dart, surviving on nothing but half of a heartbeat. Your coat's on the hook where you left it to hang, a ghost of the laughter and the slang that we sang. I almost reached out just to touch the sleeve, but I'm still learning how to let myself believe that forever has an ending, that always can break, that love is a debt that the lonely must take. I see a toothbrush, I see a spare key, reminders of how much you've taken from me. One side of the mirror is dusty and gray, the side where you stood at the start of the day. I'm talking to silence and waiting for sound, but I'm just a mountain that's leveled to ground. How do I function? How do I start when I'm only carrying half of a heart? Trying to breathe in the absence of light. The drums have gone quiet, the tempo has slowed. I'm a lonely traveler on a one-way road. You took the harmony, you took the spark, and left me to stumble alone in the dark. It's a hollow chest, hollow, a jagged edge dart, surviving on nothing but half of a heartbeat. Spark and left me to stumble alone in the dark. It's a hollow chest, hollow, a jagged edge dart, surviving on nothing but hair. a heartbeat. Thump, thump, it's missing the echo. It's missing the you. I'm just a fragment, a shade of the blue. Half of a heartbeat, that's all that's left of us. I was clearing out the corner where the dust began to climb, sifting through the wreckage of a better place and time. I found a yellow paper tucked behind the kitchen bin, a little piece of us before the lamp started kicking in. It said, I love you till the morning, in your messy cursive hand, a promise written in the ink, now buried in the sand. I smoothed out all the wrinkles, but the creases wouldn't go, like the scars across my spirit that I tried so hard to stow. It's funny how a sentiment could turn into a sting, how a piece of notebook paper can be such a heavy thing. I held it for a second, then I let the edges fall into the heap of everything that couldn't stand it all. Oh, now there are love notes in the track and teardrops on the floor, and I don't know who's a stranger walking through my door. Words that used to be my oxygen are just a pile of waste, leaving nothing but a bitter hollow metal in my taste. We went from everlasting to a Tuesday morning sweep, tossing out the secrets that we swore we'd always keep. Oh, it's a quiet kind of heartbreak, a slow and steady crash, watching out forever turn the love notes in the trash. I found another one inside the pocket of my coat. But don't forget I miss you, that you stayed up late to roll. Back when the phone was humming and the nights were never long, back before the rhythm started drifting from the song. I remember how I kissed that page and tucked it near my heart, thinking we were built to something that would never fall apart. But the ink is getting blurry and the ink has lost its grip, just like the way I felt your fingers slowly start to slip. Should I burn them? Should I save them? Should I tear them into bits? There's no instruction manual for when the engine quits. It's just a graveyard of our promise and a cemetery of please, bringing a man who used to fly down to his shaking knees. Turn the love notes in the trash. I'm standing by the curb now, the truck is down the street, taking every I adore you that I never could repeat. The lid is closing slowly, driveway's feeling cold. Goodbye to the story that we never finished being told. I'm standing on the porch and the porch lights burn out too. Searching through my pockets for a ghost of me and you. I found a copper token from that arcade by the pier, and the receipt for the dinner that we had this time last year. But the one thing that I'm needing is the one thing I can't find. The jagged piece of metal that we went and left behind. I'm peering through the window at the hallway's empty floor, looking at the life that I don't live in anymore. I tried to spare beneath the stone, but the stone was turned to glass. Everything is different since we let the seasons pass. I'm locked out of the kitchen, I'm locked out of the bed, I'm locked out of the always that we once upon a time said. And it's more than just the brass, it's more than just the ring. It's the way the silence rattles every single hollow thing. I'm standing in the rain, watching the headlights pass, wondering how a forever could shatter like a glass. I got the memories in my head, I've got the scars upon my view, but I'm standing at the threshold of the lost keys and lost you. Do you still keep your set on the hook beside the door? Did you throw them in the river when you couldn't take no more? I imagine them just sinking to the bottom of the silt, the weight of every promise and the weight of all the guilt. I remember how they jingle when you'd run into my arms, a tiny little symphony that kept me safe from harms. Now I'm just a stranger on the street I used to know, with nowhere left to turn and nowhere left to go. Break a window, kick the door, I just wanna feel the warmth of the house that used to be the only thing that I was worth. But the deadbolt is a mountain and the frame is made of stone, and I'm realizing locked out really just means all alone. It's more than just a ring. It's the way the silence rattles every single hollow thing. I'm standing in the rain, watching the headlights pass, wondering how a forever could shatter like a glass. I've got the memories in my head, I've got the scars upon my view, but I'm standing at the threshold of the lost keys and lost you. I'll just leave them on the step in case you ever come back home, but the lights are dark inside and I'm chilling to the bone. Lost keys, lost you. The moonlight's tracing pattern on the ceiling overhead. I'm tangled in the covers of this cold and quiet bed. I close my eyes at midnight just to get some rest from us, but my subconscious had a plan to turn the ash back into dust. There you were, standing by the water in that coat you used to wear, with the sunlight catching gold inside the tangles of your hair. You reached out for my hand, and for a second it was real. I forgot the way the silence and the empty spaces feel. But the sun began to peek through the corners of the blind, stealing back the only piece of you that I could find. I tried to hold the image, tried to make the colors stay, but the morning is a thief that always carries you away. And oh, I saw you in a dream again, just like I always do. The only place left in this world where I'm still holding you. We were laughing in the kitchen, we were dancing in the hall before the winter settled in and we began to fall. Now I'm waking up to static and I'm waking up to blue, counting down the hours till I can sleep and be with you. It's a beautiful torture, it's a sweet and jagged sin, to wake up in a world where you don't love me back again. I walked into the kitchen and I almost said your name, for I realized the coffee and the morning aren't the same. In my head we're still a week and the story isn't done. We're still chasing after shadows and we're hiding from the sun, but the reality is heavy and the gravity is mean. It's a different kind of lonely when you're living in between. I spent my coffee break just wishing I could close my eyes to get back to the version of us where nobody ever lies. They say that dreams are warnings or a way to let things go, but they're just a cruel reminder of the life I used to know. I'm a captive to the pillow, I'm a prisoner of the night, waiting for the dark to come and make everything alright. And I'm waking up to blue, counting down the hours till I can sleep and be with you. It's a beautiful torture, it's a sweet and jagged sin, to wake up in a world where you don't love me back again. Yeah, stay a little longer, don't let the daylight in. I just wanna see that smile if I'm lucky. I saw you in a dream again.